January felt like 3 weeks ago. At least that's how it felt for me. I'm sitting here right now in March and I can't account for where January went or even February. I know they did happen, of course. I have the photos, the memories, but they didn't feel like 2 months. They felt like some kind of a long weekend. And I started asking myself why. Like, not in a casual way. Oh, it's some scary theory type of question. Because I'm 20 something years old and I'm not supposed to feel like time is going this fast yet. I believe that's something that's supposed to happen when you're older, I guess. But the problem is that it's happening now, and it's not only for me. I asked around many friends of mine, many people I talked with, they do feel the same way. So what I did is I went and looked for an answer. Not some motivational quote like just live in the moment or something. No, I wanted some actual answer, like why this happening to us right now. And what I found is just something that really changed how I look into life and time itself. A few years ago, I moved countries. I packed everything, almost everything I have in a suitcase, and I just moved abroad to Eastern Europe to study dentistry. If you want some context, I'm currently in my 4th year of dental school abroad in Eastern Europe. If you want to know exactly where, it's in Lithuania. I've never been here before I started studying here. So everything was completely new to me here. During my first year studying abroad in Lithuania, it felt like 5 years. Every week was new. Everything was new. The city, the language, the people, the culture, the transport systems, the apps, the banking, everything was completely new to me. And from that time, I kind of remember everything, every single detail about it, every moment, every conversation I had. Then out of nowhere, something just shifted. I had a routine out of nowhere. I knew how my exams would go, the buildings, everything that I needed to know about the city I'm living in. Later forward, during my 3rd year, it felt like it was 6 months. I'm not even exaggerating, it did feel like 6 months. When I try to look back at it, like, there's nothing there. It's not like nothing important happened, of course. Some important stuff happened, I have the memories and everything. Like, things did happen, I just didn't register them in my brain the same way. And I think most of you watching this right now know exactly what I'm talking about. So after digging into the internet, I pulled up some answers and I'm gonna show them to you one by one to tell you exactly what's happening. And there are a few layers into this. And the first layer is the math of it, how the math of this feeling works. Basically, when you were 6 years old, waiting a month for Christmas or any important event, it was 1/18th of your entire life. I don't know, I understand completely how this works, but this is what the math says. 1 month was like a massive slice of everything you ever experienced. Now, if you're in your 20s or older, that same month is 140th of your life. Proportionally, it's tiny compared to when you were 6 years old. Your brain isn't broken, it's just doing the math. That's why summers felt like an infinite. And I just remember that I used to tell people that summers were like 4 or 5 months, but now when I'm older, I know that it wasn't 4 months. Summer vacation, it's just 2 months. So basically the summers didn't change, the time didn't change, it's just that our brain chemistry changed. But there's a deeper reason, and this one is the one that actually bothered me the most. Your brain doesn't record time like a video camera. It records experiences, specifically new ones, moments that surprised you and things that were different or felt different for you. So when you were a kid, basically everything was new to you. Your brain is constantly flagging things. Remember this, log that, understand that. So you have thousands of distinct memories from your childhood, even specifically from one summer. As an adult, Mondays and Tuesdays are almost identical if you have like a routine. So your brain doesn't bother storing them differently or separately. They just kind of blur in together. So when you try to look back at a year or a month where nothing was flagged as new to your brain, you won't remember much and you will feel like it went so fast. And here's some research about it. Researchers at the University of Michigan put it this way. We perceive fewer frames per second as we get older. Like a video that was shot in high resolution slowly getting compressed down with lower quality, lower details, and having less there. There's also the psychological piece of it. A professor named Adrian Bajan did research on this. As your brain grows and matures, signals have to travel longer distances across more complex neural networks. The older you get, the slower your brain processes visual information. Basically, when you were young, your brain was taking hundreds of mental snapshots per second. Now it's taking fewer. And fewer snapshots means fewer memories, which means basically when you try to look back, it's less time. Okay, now we talked about the math, the psychology, the research. Here's the part that nobody wants to say. The fact that you feel like your life is moving faster, it's actually profitable for other people. Think about how social media algorithms work. It reads you, understands you, and know what you like. And it just feeds you more of the same things forever. And that's on purpose, of course. And here's the thing. Anything familiar to you won't go into your memories. You could spend 3 hours on your phone tonight or tomorrow every single night and your brain will have almost no record of it because nothing was new to you, nothing was different, and nothing was flagged for your brain. And basically, if you think about it, 3 hours of your life just gone. Not even memorized, it's just gone. And it's not only about social media, it's also about the job you hate but you still stay in it. It's the same coffee shop, the same conversations, the same routine. Basically everything is the same. We as humans, we were never built for this level of repetition. Like if you think about it, the repetition level we have nowadays, it's huge. Everything is the same. Basically nothing new happens, and it's not easy to access new things anymore when you get older because you need to have a job, you need to have a routine, there are stuff that you need to do to survive, and they are purposed around repetition. Humans spent thousands of years in a world where every day was genuinely different. The weather, the challenges, different problems to solve, basically. And now we just do the same thing every single day. And we wonder why life feels like it's slipping through our fingers. But if you want to know the most uncomfortable truth that I found from this research, you are not getting older, you're just living on autopilot, and your brain is basically punishing you for it by making your life feel shorter than it actually is. And the worst part is most people actually know this and they still don't change anything about it, because being in a routine is comfortable, of course, because the algorithm is easy, because autopilot doesn't require anything from you. It just happens. But if you think about it from another angle, comfort is expensive and you're just paying with it with time. So now, after peeling all layers, what can we actually do about it? About this ugly feeling of time slipping away? The answer to it is weirdly simple. It's not easy, but it's just simple. In short words, you need to give your brain new things to photograph and record. For example, traveling somewhere you've never been before. It doesn't have to be far, it can be just a different city in the same country you're living in. Try different types of food, different book, different genre, different movies, series, just something different from your usual routine that you're used to. Because every time you do something new, your brain wakes up and starts taking more frames, more details, and more memory. And if you do that for a month, and after a month, when you look back at it, that previous month where you did new things, it will actually feel like a month. I can tell you that this actually works from my own experience. The months I remember the most at university are those where I did something new. I took a trip, a period where I changed how I was studying, the period where I started making content, for example, a week where things were just uncomfortable, even like in a bad way. It was uncomfortable, but it was something new for me and I remembered it. And the months where I barely remember anything from them are the ones where everything was the same. There's also research on this too, that people who keep learning new skills, who stay socially engaged, who travel and explore, they constantly report that time feels fuller, richer, and longer. Basically, they're not doing anything magical, they're just keeping their brain camera rolling. And now I want you to leave this video with this. The goal here isn't to slow time down. Time will go always the same. We can just change how it feels for us. The goal here is to have something to look back on. Because when we're older, and I mean like actually older, like grandpa's kind of old, you're not going to count your years, how many years you lived. You're going to count your memories, the moments, the things that were different, and the things that changed you as a person. And right now, today, you have a choice about how many of those things you are creating. January went fast for me, and I know why. I'm doing something about it, at least. What you do with that is up to you. If you stayed until the end of the videos, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. I make videos, more videos like this, and see you in the next one.